wanted to unpackage the updates they were giving on the Zoom today. Just in case you missed it, I'll go ahead and recap all the different modifications that they made to the original model in hopes of making this more sustainable. Now, again, I want to answer the burning question that you probably have in your mind right now. Can you withdraw right now? No, you cannot withdraw. There's no withdrawals until the contract hits 500 BNB. Now, where's the contract at right now? Before the Zoom, the contract was at 189 BNB, and right now it's over 300 BNB. So in the last 2 hours, there's been an influx of BNB to the contract because people in the community, different leaders, people that have different teams and things of that nature, they're putting in or they're adding to the liquidity here, and in hopes of hitting 500 BNB. Now, we're going to go ahead and cover the modifications to the withdrawals, also the modifications to the ranking system. So just hang tight. But yeah, you can see here they've added, if you scroll down to the website, they've added the this right here, this liquidity pool stability percentage. Okay, once this hits 500, then this will be at 100% liquidity pool stability. Okay. Once they hit 500 BNB in the contract, they'll enable withdrawals. Now, if the contract falls below 500, again, nothing's going to happen if the contract is at 500 and above BNB, but if it falls below 500 and this liquidity pool stability percentage drops, it will affect the amount you can pull out and claim. So I'm going to show you here the percentage that they've set up, because again, they're going to allow you to still claim. Portion goes back into the liquidity pool. It's almost like a tax, right? They're gonna implement a tax for you to claim if you're withdrawing and claiming when the liquidity pool has dropped below 500 BNB. So again, that's their way of kind of countermeasuring and keeping, or at least attempting to keep the contract stable, right? So let's go ahead and cover this. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and show you the slide here because it'll give you a little bit more of a visual, and I think you'll understand it a little bit more. So let's go over some of these different changes. Again, it's one-time $50 BNB for a pack. You could potentially make money in BNB without recruiting. Okay, that's what I think. That's one of the biggest things for this was people could earn without recruiting. And again, it's all based on the global power line. Now, again, there's a lot of other passive platforms out there. This one here was, the percentage it was paying out every day was insane. Now, again, that's going to change because of the ranking system. They've made it a little bit harder for people to rank up. And again, in my opinion, I think they needed to do that because, again, it was just paying out way too much, right? Again, good concept. Obviously people were attracted to it. It went viral super duper fast. But again, just the math wasn't, it wasn't sustainable, right? And I think, again, I'm not part of their team. I don't know. I don't know if somebody just dropped the ball. That could very well be the case, or they just didn't anticipate it blowing up so fast the way it did. So in their mind, they probably said, it's going to take a while for people to hit Blue Diamond. Little did they know this thing went viral crazy, and everybody was jumping in, and people were hitting Blue Diamond, in 24 to 48 hours, right? So again, these are things that happen, right? They weren't ready for it. Anyway, the fast start bonus they've reduced, I believe, right? I don't even remember what the original fast start bonus was, but there's a 20% fast start bonus. The original check match was 50%. They've reduced it to 25%. So again, this is still pretty aggressive. But we'll see what happens. They do need to have, again, I think they've thought this through. They do need to have a fast start bonus and a check match. I've heard some people in different chat groups say they should get rid of the fast start bonus, or they should get rid of the check match. And I don't think that's the answer, right? If there's no fast start bonus or check match, what's going to incentivize content creators, YouTubers, network marketers, team leaders, et cetera, to recruit and build a team? Because that's what you want. You want people recruiting and building teams, because the more people they bring in, more packages are bought. That adds to your global power line. That pushes you up the ranking system. So without a faster bonus or check match, who's going to be, it's not going to work, if that makes sense, right? So again, when people say, oh, get rid of the fast start, get rid of the check match, I don't think that's the answer. Okay, you do that, and nobody's going to be talking about this. But anyway, that's just neither here nor there, right? Worldwide global build community, smart contract. You can withdraw instantly, no withdrawal fees. Global power line still stays the same. Of course, as people come in after you and they buy packages, that adds to your global power line and pushes you up the ranking system. So let's go ahead and take a look at the new ranking system. Again, this pretty much stays the same for you to activate your pack. You can either recruit 3 people or you have to wait till there's 75 in your global leg count, and then you start to earn on that pack. Okay. So real quick before we go over the ranking system, this is the modification they made to the withdrawal system. My Telegram is going bananas right now. I got like 50 messages. Crazy. Okay. Anyway, this is the claim rewards. Okay. Beginner to bronze will be open when liquidity hits 500 B and above. So again, right now there's not 500 BNB in the contract, so nobody is claiming. Okay, you're not able to claim because they're not going to turn on the claim, the ability to claim until they hit 500 BNB. Okay, once they hit 500 BNB and above, you get 100% of your beginner to bronze claims. Okay, so the first 3 packages, I'm going to show you that here in a second. First 3 packages you can claim from. Okay, the ranks above bronze are going to be locked. Okay, until later. All right. So it says your claim rewards withdrawals will be based on the volume of the liquidity pool. If the liquidity pool goes below 500 BNB, by the way, the liquidity pool is a contract, right? If the contract goes below 500 BNB, the withdrawals will be based on the amount of the liquidity in the global community pool. In other words, they're just using a lot of this terminology, but 500 BNB, the withdrawals will be based on the amount of BNB in the contract. Okay. If the contract falls below 500 BNB, there's going to be a tax. If it stays at 500 BNB or above, then you can claim 100%. There's no tax, right? You can see here, they give an example here at 500 BNB. If you claim, you get 100% of your claim. 0% goes to the liquidity pool, goes back to the liquidity pool, goes back to the contract. 400 B, let's say it drops down to 400 BNB, then you'll be able to claim 80%. The remaining 20% goes back to the contract. So again, this is their way of, trying to maintain the health of the contract. Okay. Now, again, you don't have to, take this, for example, if it goes to 400 BNB, are you forced to, quote unquote, pay this 20% tax back to the contract? No. Now, if you say, you know what, it's worth it for me to do it, let me go ahead and do it, then you can do that. Or you can say, you know what, let me not claim and let me wait till it goes back to 500 BNB, then I'll claim then I won't have a tax. Now, the risk there is it may not go back up to 500 BNB. I don't know. But again, you're not forced to take this, right? If you want to hold on and claim and not claim yet, and in hopes of it going back, then you can do that as well. Or it can continue to go down, right? Let's say it drops down to 250 BNB, then it's a 50% claim rewards, 50% goes back to the contract. Okay. So it's almost like a tax that you're going to have to pay to claim if the contract falls below 500 BNB, and the lower it goes, the bigger the tax, right? That's their way of trying to maintain the health of the contract. Now you might say, oh man, I don't like that. Would you rather have no ability to claim, right? Like like what's the alternative really? They run away, they don't do anything, no claim, no nothing, and you're done withdrawing, right? I mean, that's the other alternative, right? So again, you have to be okay with this, and be willing to pay this tax, because again, the alternative is, all right, then nothing, no withdrawals. Let's not withdraw from this thing, right? For me, I've already, I'm in profit, right? We got in early, or at least somewhat early, right? And we were able to, ROI a couple of times over, right? We made a bunch of profit. But for me, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with paying a 20% tax or even a 50% tax, right? It's better than getting zero, right? I mean, I'm looking at the bigger picture. But then Again, I know you and I are probably in different positions. You might not look at it that way, and that's okay. We're all in, we all have different perspectives on how this thing should go. But again, I see people saying, "Oh man, I don't know about that 20% tax." Again, would you rather have zero? Would you rather not be able to withdraw at all? Are you okay with that? Right? And if the answer is no, then hey, anything for me, anything that will allow this thing to run and maybe run longer, you know, I'm not going to say I'm all for it, but it's better than the alternative, right? So it says here a pop-up notification will notify you of the percentage you will receive. So again, once you go to claim based on the B&B in the contract, it'll tell you how much you'll be able to claim, how much is going to be a tax. Again, if the contract is above 500 B&B, then there's going to be no tax, right? So it's all going to be based on the time you're trying to claim and how much B&B is in the contract at the time you're trying to claim. Okay. So here is the new ranks. Again, they have the beginner, right? Beginner starts at either 3 directs or 75 in your global power line. The runner position, right, starts at 200. The bronze starts at 450, right? So again, you can see here it's a little bit harder to hit. The payouts, I believe, remain the same, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's $1.50 a day at beginner, $1.75 a day at runner, $1.87 a day at bronze. But mind you, you're getting paid this at the same time. These different ranks are paying you at the same time. So if you're at the bronze level, you're getting paid the bronze payout, the runner payout, the beginner payout. So again, what is that, like a little bit over $5 a day, right? And then you get that for 40 days, 50 days. Again, day structure, I believe, stays the same. To hit silver, it's 10,000, 10,000 in your global power line. Then you open up that $3 a day. Again, for 50 days, it's $150. At gold, it's 30,000 now. I don't remember what it was before, but it definitely wasn't 30,000, right? I think blue diamond was at 30,000. So now it's gold. If you have 30,000, you're at gold. That opens up $5 a day. At platinum, it's 50,000 you need in your global power line. That opens up $7.50. If you add this all up, I believe it's $15 a day. Yeah, $15 a day, and so forth and so on. You can see here diamond is 150K now. Blue diamond, which I believe was at 30,000 in your global power line before, it's at 500,000 now. But it opens up, this pretty much stays the same. So you can see here the different ranks, and I believe I don't know, were these ranks there before? Maybe they were. I don't even remember. But again, the other modification outside of the withdrawals is this ranking system. Okay, they spread it out a little bit more, so it's going to take you a little bit longer to hit. Because again, their whole thing here, and they said this several times on the Zoom, is they want to be here for a long time, longevity. How long will they be here? I don't know. Again, I don't have a crystal ball or anything like that. It's just, this is all, an experiment, right? At least for me, this is all kind of the first time I'm getting into a global power line like this that was moving this fast. I've been in other global power lines, but none of them moved this fast. Okay, this was a fast moving, insanely viral platform. So we'll see what happens. Again, says here you can start with 3 people if you want to. Now, again, you don't have to. You can be completely passive. Again, there's a 25% check match, and that's pretty much it. So let's take a quick look at the UI. Again, most of it is going to be the same, right? If we come up here, right, if we go to the packs, right, it shows here your total pending rewards. Now, again, this is what you're going to be able to claim when the contract hits 500 BNB, right? It's not including your lock rewards. If you want to show your lock rewards included, you can click this button right here. So right here, like if I show you here, I have 100 packs, 102 to be exact, right? But 100 packs for easy math. Right now I can claim, assuming the contract was at 500 BNB, which it's not right now, I just showed you that. But if the contract was at 500 BNB or above, I'd be able to claim $11.85 per pack. Now I have 100 packs, so that's what, $1,100, right? Now again, if the contract falls below, let's say it goes down to 50%, right, which is 250 BNB, then my total pending claims, I'll be able to claim half of this. The other half is going to go back to the contract, right? So again, this is the first three positions only. Okay, if I wanted to show all of my position, all of the different positions, I can hit this purple button right here, and it shows 128. Okay, I would be able to, if it was all of my packs, or excuse me, all of my ranks, right, on this pack, it'd be $128. Now again, I have 100 packs, so that would be $12,800 I'd be able to claim, and this continues to build. Okay, so again, if I hit this right here, not claim, what am I showing you? If I hit view ranks, okay, this will break down each pack. You can see here these first three packs, or excuse me, first three ranks, beginner, runner, and bronze, we'll be able to claim that once the contract hits 500 BNB. So again, this will continue to build up, right? If I scroll down, this is all locked, right? So silver is locked, gold is locked, platinum is locked, diamond, and then blue diamond. All of that is locked, right? And then I don't have enough to qualify for entrepreneur. Okay, that's going to be a lot, as you can see right here. But all of these are locked. Okay, they did mention, I believe, when these would get unlocked, but it just slips my mind right now. I think once the contract hits 500 BNB, and I could be wrong, okay, so I'm going to have to verify this. I think the contract has to grow by 1,000 BNB, or was it 1,000? That's probably wrong. That sounds wrong. But it has to grow by a certain amount before they start unlocking these other ranks. But meanwhile, it'll continue to build up, but we just can't withdraw it, right? But these first three, we're going to be able to withdraw, okay? So again, we're earning $5 a day. Again, we have 100 packs. So just off the top of my head, the math is we're earning 500. No, that can't be right. Is that right? Let me see, $5 a day times 100 packs. So we're earning $500 a day with just the first three packs. Okay. Now again, if there's a 500 BNB and above in the contract, I'll be able to withdraw $500 a day. If it falls below, then I'll incur a tax, right? So that's how that works. So I think those are the updates. Those are the changes. Is this still a profitable thing to get into for let's say, not counting people that are already in, right? For brand new people to come in, is it still profitable for them to do? Is it profitable for them to come in? I guess it all depends on the contract, really, right? If the contract can hit 500 and maintain itself and stay above, then perhaps, right? But realistically, will it be able to stay above 500 BNB? That's the question, right? Because again, people are going to want to withdraw. My thing, if I just think it off the top of my head, just based on my experience, it'll hit 500 BNB. With that, I'm, pretty confident because you see the contract growing. People are coming into this thing, right? It's growing. It's already at 310, right? So I think it'll definitely hit 500 BNB. Then they'll turn on the withdrawals. People will withdraw. It'll come down. I think that first initial wave of withdrawals, that's going to be the stress test, right? If it can survive that first wave of withdrawals and still kind of maintain itself, perhaps even climb back up, then this will be running for a long time. If it doesn't, if it's not able to, then again, we're going to know real quick once this hits 500 BNB. If it'll be able to sustain, everybody trying to withdraw, because really it's really that first wave of withdrawals, right? Because again, people are building up, right? Their packs are still earning, even though we can't withdraw. Their first three packs are still earning. So again, it's going to be that first wave of withdrawals that's going to really stress the contract. But then after that, it's $5 a day, right? I mean, if people, depending on how many packs they have, most people have a couple of packs, so what are they going to be making, right? I don't know. Do the math on that. There's probably very few people that have 100 packs or more. I'm sure there are, right? Those people are going to be making $500 a day. Will they be able to withdraw that? I don't know. Again, like I said, it's all dependent on the community. Right now, this is a community-based platform, community-based project. The community wants this to run, then it'll run. If the community doesn't want it to run, and it's all going to be based on the behavior of the community, right? So again, we're going to see if the community wants this thing to go, because if they want it to go, then it'll go. Just like anything else, just like other platforms and projects that I've been in, it's all been community based. If the community acts right, then it'll work. If the community don't act right, then it won't work, right? So I mean, that's just the way it goes, right? Again, for me, I can never predict people's actions. I don't know how people are gonna, how the community is gonna act. We've done very well with this. If it ends today and we're not able to withdraw a single penny from this thing, then it is what it is, right? If it continues to move forward, then we'll be able to, kind of see how this thing plays out, and we can withdraw. Again, do I want this thing to work out? Yes. Like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want this to work out. Why wouldn't you want this to work out? It's money, right? You might not have a team. You might have only a couple of packs, but if you came in before, and let's say your 1 or 2 packs are at diamond or blue diamond, why wouldn't you want this thing to work? Even if you're just withdrawing $10 a day, it's $10 a day that you didn't have before, right? Why wouldn't you want it to work, right? So I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want this thing to work. Will it work? We're going to have to see. Like I said, it's all going to be based on the community. But do I like these changes? Yeah, I think these changes were definitely they needed to be made. I was having some dialogue. I was having a dialogue yesterday with somebody, and they were saying, "Hey, look at the changes that they're making. It looks pretty good." And I remember the first thing I said, and I was going back and forth with him on Telegram, is I said, "Yeah, the changes look great, but what's to stop people from draining the contract once they turn on the withdrawals? As soon as they turn on those withdrawals, people are going to be buying packs. People are just going to drain it out and hit the withdraw button. Unless they do something that stops people from immediately withdrawing, it's not going to work." That's what I said. And today, I didn't know what, every single change they were going to make. Today, when I was watching the Zoom, they were saying, "Hey, we're not going to let people withdraw. We're going to, there's a stop on the withdrawal. This is what we're going to do. There has to be certain thresholds." So again, they're thinking the right way, at least, right? Because again, if they didn't put these restrictions on the withdrawals, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Now, does that guarantee that this is going to work long term? Who knows? We're going to watch it. We're going to see what happens. But so far, you can see here the contract is continuing to grow. Look at that. Every time I click refresh, it's just growing, right? Maybe by tomorrow or the next day, it'll be at 500. We'll see. We'll see. And then we'll kind of see, if this will pass the stress test. But, again, it is a good platform. People made money with it, right? Again, people who got in early, and when I say early, I'm not saying, day one, because again, this was running for a week already when I saw it. People who got in when I did a video on it, right? If you're in our community, you did well, right? You did well. You're definitely broke even. Most likely you were in profit. And that's even if you didn't share with anybody. So again, anything positive that comes out of this moving forward, I think it's icing on the cake, right? It'll be pretty good. So again, we'll wait and see. I just wanted to kind of give you the updates and give you a little bit of my commentary. Again, can't guarantee anything. We'll see what happens. So yeah, follow me for my updates. And again, be talking about this more as the days go by. Again, follow me on Telegram, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell icon so you'll get notified straight away. Again, I'm not your financial advisor, guys. Never take anything as financial advice. If you're going to get into anything on our channel, do your own research and due diligence and only put in what you can afford to lose. Okay? Yeah, that's it. Man, look at that. Almost, if this was originally almost $13,000 worth of claims for my 100 packs. Wow. Wow. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.